Chapter 91, Fiery Dragon Soul-Severing Spear. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nice one, Master. You snagged the ultimate weapon, the fierce dragon soul-severing spear. Spear? Ning Fan looked surprised, glancing down at the Lichuan spear in his hand. Honestly, this thing's pretty decent, almost like a real spear. Especially when masters clash. Regular spears wouldn't hold up against a top general's strength. Pengju, catch. Ning Fan suddenly tossed the Lichuan spear to Yu Fei. Thanks to his hidden weapon skill, it landed right at Yu Fei's feet. System, deploy the fierce dragon soul-severing spear. Confirmed. Suddenly, a dark spear appeared beside Ning Fan. This one was noticeably heavier than the Lichuan spear, weighing around 66 pounds. The shaft was pure black, engraved with a golden dragon. It felt so cold, it was almost hard for Ning Fan to lift. Let's go. Armed with his own weapon, Ning Fan was pumped. He grabbed the spear and charged back into the fray. He only had a martial arts rating of 60, but with the purple lightning flying dragon horse and the fierce dragon soul-severing spear, he suddenly fought like a legendary general. 13 deadly spears, lovesickness, proficiency increased by 55 for each kill. 13 deadly spears, lovesickness, proficiency increased by 52 for each kill. You used the 13 deadly spears. System notifications flooded in. With Dian Wei covering his back, Ning Fan's eyes were bloodshot, and his clothes were soaked. Congrats, Master. The first of the 13 deadly spears, lovesickness, has reached Grandmaster level. Check the martial arts page. Show me, 13 deadly spears, Grandmaster, 7/3000. Ning Fan felt a surge of energy, like a shot of adrenaline. He'd been exhausted, but the breakthrough in his marksmanship filled him with renewed strength. My force stat jumped again. The past few days of training and the hidden weapon skill got me to 60. Now, with the marksmanship breakthrough, it's up by 5. Looks like I'll be a third-rate general before long. Ning Fan glared at the terrified bandits he was cutting down. If he and his companions hadn't shown up, these thugs would have slaughtered the entire caravan. He felt no guilt about mowing them down. People had already died in King Yu's city, so wiping out a bunch of scum was just a matter of course. Apart from a little nausea, it didn't bother him. Brothers, the third boss is down. Let's bail. These guys are too strong. We can't win. Especially that spear-wielding psycho. He's a monster. Fear gripped the bandits. Retreat was on their minds. Money and silk were tempting, but not worth their lives. Scatter, a hulking bandit yelled, leading the charge into the woods. Think you can just run? Pengju, Dian Wei, stop them. Ning Fan shouted and charged forward, Yu Fei and Dian Wei right behind him. Uncle Qin, what's happening out there? The carriage curtain opened, revealing a pretty face looking at Xuanyuan with worry. Miss, we've been saved by heroes. These 3 guys showed up just in time. Otherwise, we'd be toast. Xuanyuan was visibly shaken, drenched in cold sweat, and relieved to be alive. Let's get moving. We need to hire some guards when we get to Yenzhou. These bandits are getting out of hand. Xuanyuan glared at the fleeing figures, furious. Uncle Qin, we can't just leave without thanking them. Plus, those 3 are chasing the bandits. It's too dangerous to leave them hanging. The woman's voice floated from the carriage, making Xuanyuan frown. He hesitated, then nodded. All right, we'll wait a bit. Good. Qin, ride back to the capital and get us some guards. Yes, sir. Arrows flew. Yu Fei's longbow took down one bandit after another. Ning Fan kept hurling hidden weapons, outdoing even Yu Fei. Yu Fei glanced at his lord, impressed. He hadn't realized someone could be so skilled with hidden weapons. Accuracy, range, power, all top-notch. Lord, it's getting late. Ming must be here soon. We shouldn't chase them any further. This forest is too dense. We could get lost. Right, Ning Fan agreed. This bandit gang hides in these mountains, making them hard to find. But they're getting too bold, causing trouble on the main road near the capital. If we don't wipe them out, it puts travelers at risk and disrespects the emperor. Dian Wei, tell Zhongli to investigate bandit activity near the capital when you get back. Got it, Ning Fan nodded, pleased. If he could fight bad guys every day, leveling up his martial arts would be a piece of cake. Kind sirs. Are you hurt? Back on the road, Ning Fan was surprised to see the caravan still there. He smiled. Thanks to you three, we escaped those bandits. My lady sends these gifts as a token of our gratitude. Xuanyuan presented a tray of gold ingots to Ning Fan. We don't need that. Helping those in need is the right thing to do. We just happened to be passing by. It was nothing. It's getting late. You should get going. Ning Fan smiled and turned to leave. Wait. Can we at least know your names? Zhao Zilong, from Changshan, a voice echoed, followed by hearty laughter, fading into the distance. Xuanyuan stood there, speechless. The carriage was silent for a moment, then, at the window, a pair of beautiful eyes watched the departing figures, lost in thought. Zhao Zilong. She whispered. Miss, should we get back on the road? Yes. Chapter 92, Ning Fan's Strategy, Calm Ming's Warning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My lord, who exactly is this Zhao Zilong from Changshan? Dian Wei asked. You'll find out, Ning Fan replied, keeping him in suspense. Pengju, do you know him? Yeah, Yu Fei chuckled, I know of him. I just doubt he knows me. What's that supposed to mean? Ning Fan and Yu Fei exchanged glances and burst out laughing at Dian Wei's puzzled expression. My lord, isn't that your carriage? It is. Ning Fan watched a carriage pull up to the nearby pavilion. He quickly dismounted and headed toward it. Lord, Zhuge Liang's face lit up when he saw Ning Fan. He quickly rose and bowed. Calm Ming, long time no see. How are you doing? Liang greets my lord. I am Shenli, offering my respects to His Highness King Xianxia. An elderly man beside Zhuge Liang bowed deeply and respectfully. Student Ning Fan, greetings Master Shen. Ning Fan returned the bow. After all, this was not only his former teacher but also the former emperor's tutor. The former grand tutor. Your Highness, it's been many years, but you haven't lost your touch. Master Shen, you're too kind. Ning Fan smiled awkwardly. If the old man knew what he'd really been up to in the capital all these years, he'd probably blow a fuse. They all sat down in the pavilion. With the sun setting, Ning Fan and his two companions were feeling the fatigue from their journey. Lord, did you run into any trouble along the way? Yeah, Ning Fan said. We had a run-in with some thugs, but we took care of them. Zhuge Liang frowned. This is practically the capital. He said gravely. Along the way, we encountered several groups blocking the road, Ning Fan added, but most just wanted some pocket change before letting us pass. We appreciate these guys' support, he chuckled, gesturing to the palace guards nearby. These are all palace masters. Zhuge Liang then addressed Shenli, Sir, I apologize for summoning you to the capital like this. I assure you, it was a last resort. I hope you can forgive me. Your Highness, please don't, Shenli replied calmly. I withdrew from court service long ago to become a simple teacher because education is what matters most. If the court needs these old bones now, how could I refuse? Little friend Kong Ming has filled me in on the situation in Beijing during our journey. Once the court is stabilized, I'll retire back to my seclusion. Your Highness, please inform His Majesty of my wishes. Ning Fan nodded solemnly. Sir, rest assured, I will definitely explain it to my father. So, where does your highness want me to begin? Sir, as you know, the position of Right Minister of Dayu has been vacant since the death of the previous one. For years, powerful families have controlled the government and caused problems for the court. I'm planning to reinstate the Right Minister, and I would be honored if you would accept the position. Ning Fan looked at Shun and sighed. The situation in Beijing has been changing drastically in recent days. Marquis Xuanyuan has been colluding with the Chen family, forming cliques for personal gain, and plotting rebellion. And the Chen family has joined forces with the king of Huainan, secretly providing him with armor and weapons. Dayu is now facing threats from both within and without. Shun sighed as well, a hint of anger in his eyes. When the late emperor was alive, I warned him about the dangers of powerful families and the problems they could cause. Unfortunately, the late emperor was preoccupied with wars on all fronts and never had the chance to reform the court. Now, it has led to a disaster. Nowadays, court officials have so much inherited fame and status that it's nearly impossible for commoners to get ahead. Over the years, I've taught so many talented individuals from humble backgrounds, and it pains me that they're denied the chance to serve as officials simply because of their origins. It's a source of constant frustration and sorrow. Seeing the sadness on Shunli's face, Ning Fan declared, Sir, I have a plan to help those from humble backgrounds rise to prominence. Oh? Shunli looked surprised, and even Zhuge Liang leaned forward with curiosity. Yu Fei tentatively asked, a civil service exam? Precisely. Ning Fan nodded with a smile, his gaze thoughtful. With a civil service exam, anyone with the ability and integrity can become an official, regardless of their background. Lord, what is this civil service exam? Zhuge Liang was the first to ask, and Shunli looked equally puzzled. The civil service exam, simply put, means selecting the qualified, regardless of their origin. Whether you're from a noble family or a humble commoner, if you want to be an official, you have to pass the exam and be hired. The exam progresses from the bottom up, with local exams, provincial exams, and the palace exam. Selection at every level, admission based purely on merit. Ning Fan explained the core of the civil service exam system. Both Shunli and Zhuge Liang looked astonished, and Yu Fei's eyes gleamed with excitement. In this era, such a system didn't exist yet. If Dayu could be the first to implement it, they could usher in an era of prosperity and good governance. Lord, Zhuge Liang's face was solemn. He looked intently at Ning Fan. What we've discussed today must not be shared with outsiders. This matter is of the utmost importance and, frankly, too radical for Dayu. If word gets out, Dayu could be overthrown. Shunli was startled, and a hint of surprise appeared in his eyes. He nodded emphatically. Ming is right. This exam system is a weapon of mass destruction when it comes to breaking the aristocratic family's stranglehold on power. Dayu is already in turmoil. If this policy is revealed, these families will unite against you. They'd be willing to do anything, even kill you. Don't underestimate the power of these families. Even the court is afraid of them. Ning Fan saw their worried faces and realized the gravity of the situation. Implementing such a system would be far more difficult than he imagined. One wrong move, and he could end up dead or worse, the country in chaos. This world belonged to the aristocracy. Not until the court was fully stabilized could he dare to promote this system so openly. But Zhuge Liang's eyes gleamed. While we can't implement the exam system right now, we could issue a decree to recruit talent. Recruit talented individuals from across the country to serve as officials, assessing and employing them on a trial basis. With you in charge, you can draw scholars from everywhere and fill the court's current talent gap. Shunli's eyes brightened, and he nodded slowly. Ming's plan is feasible. Scholars from across the land will flock to the capital. At that time, Master Shen can serve as the chief examiner, selecting the virtuous and capable, as well as a group of promising individuals from smaller families. Promote smaller aristocratic families, win over those in the middle, and suppress the largest ones. Once the court is stable, then implement the exam system, and order will be restored. Chapter 93, The Chen Family of Shuzhou, Jia Xu's Hidden Worries. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Royal Study in the Palace. You're saying Zhao Changjing and those other 3 old codgers went to Prince Xuanyuan's place. That's the story. Say what? Well. Jian looked embarrassed. Emperor, you realized that Ning Fan was in charge of the genie guards. How could their spies snoop around Prince Xuanyuan's mansion? The Dian Wei's second-in-command is already in Shuzhou. In just one day, he's dug up a ton of the Chen family's dirty laundry, and the whole city's buzzing about it. The Chen family's reputation is in the toilet, and the people of Shuzhou are spitting mad. Jiannan's report on Shuzhou made Emperor Yu sit up straight. This Jia Xu's got brains. He's trashing the Chen family's name first, so when he drops the hammer, there'll be a lot less resistance. He's winning hearts and minds, which gives him the green light to go after the Chen family. Your Majesty, Jiannan said quietly, his face solemn. Former Grand Tutor Shunli has arrived in the capital. He's staying at Prince Xuanyuan's mansion. Tonight, the prince and his 2 guards are personally riding out of the city to meet him. That kid actually got Mr. Shun to come. Emperor Yu looked surprised, muttering, how'd he pull that off? Your Majesty, Jiannan said with a bow, His Second Highness didn't get involved this time. It was an aide from Prince Xuanyuan's mansion who went to Jiangnan himself. It's not that simple. The old tutor left the capital in a huff years ago, swearing he'd never hold office again. He was furious. Now, things have changed, and he's willing to get back in the game. That aide must be something special. Emperor Yu thought for a moment, then said softly, since the Dian Wei are already moving, you should head down to Jiangnan yourself. Just in case something unexpected happens. Yes, sir. Shuzhou. The Chen family's mansion. The Chen family was one of Dayu's foremost influential families. People in Shuzhou might not know where the county governor lived, but they sure as hell knew where the Chen family mansion was. The house had been in Shuzhou for centuries, longer than the Dayu Dynasty itself. Rulers came and went, the world changed, but the old locust tree in front of the house stood tall. No one ever dared to prune a single branch. Because it was the Chen mansion. One of the top 4 families. Inside the courtyard, the pavilions and terraces were magnificent, rivaling a royal palace. In a grand hall, an old man in expensive robes sat at the head of the table, his face like thunder. Have you looked into it? Father, someone's stirring up trouble behind the scenes. Those lowlifes from back then have been manipulated and are badmouthing the Chen family. Now your second son's escapades have the whole of Shuzhou in an uproar. Damn it, the old man slammed the table, furious. Shuzhou is Chen family territory. Who dares cause trouble on our doorstep? Tell the county magistrate to throw those lowlifes in jail and find out who's pulling the strings. I want to see who's got the guts to yank a tooth from the Chen family tiger. Yes, sir. 2 middle-aged men standing respectfully below bowed. The old man calmed down and asked, any news from the capital? Father, no one we sent out has come back. Wait a minute. The old man seemed to realize something, his expression changing. What about the secret weapons workshop? Did you find anything? Nothing. The 2 middle-aged men lowered their heads in shame. The head of the Chen family looked grim. First, there was the incident at the weapons workshop, then we lost contact with the capital. Now, my Chen family is in the spotlight. Who has that kind of power? Could someone be planning to take down the Chen family? Listening to his father, Chen Yunlin, the eldest son, said, Father, even the barbarian god temple from the southern barbarians and the Yanlong guards from Dian are getting involved. It's probably not the emperor. Plus, we have a 4th son running the new army in the capital and a 3rd son who's won over a bunch of important officials. Emperor, you wouldn't dare move against us. Don't forget, if Dayu loses the Chen family, the country falls. Brothers right. The second son, Chen Fan, nodded in agreement. Father, I bet it's some other noble family pulling the strings. The Chen family's been getting stronger every day, and the other three families are probably jealous. Shut up, the Chen family patriarch looked even gloomier. Don't talk nonsense. Eldest, send someone to investigate this immediately. Go to the sheriff's office and see if anything's up. Second brother, send more men to the capital to investigate. Yes, sir, the second son hurried off. A figure in black robes stepped out of the shadows and said, Master, if I'm right, the one in the palace is probably getting nervous. Huh, Patriarch Chen frowned. Has he figured something out? We need to be ready. What do you suggest we do? The old man in black pondered. Send word to Huainan and have them move. Secretly move our Black Dragon army into the valley outside the city, just in case, the head of the Chen family looked grim. If we do that, even if the court knows nothing, they'll get suspicious. Master, this is about the Chen family's century-long plan. We have to be careful. Alright, in an ordinary house, a man in plain clothes sat quietly at a desk, someone knocked on the door, and two burly men entered. Sir, the Chen family just sent out another group of spies. Did you stop them? Yes. Have you found what I asked you to investigate? Jia Xu asked calmly, his eyes sharp. Sir, the Chen family has hidden over 10,000 elite soldiers in a valley west of the city. Jia Xu's eyes flashed. Is that accurate? Our men investigated personally. It's accurate. That Chen family. Jia Xu chuckled. A noble family, secretly raising over 10,000 private soldiers. If I hadn't come to Shuzhou myself, they would have gotten away with it. Sir, the people in the city are ready to riot. Should we move? No, Jia Xu sighed. We can't move until we get rid of those 10,000 soldiers. Send word to the capital immediately. Let His Highness decide. As you wish. After the Dian Wei captains left, Jia Xu looked worried. With the Chen family raising private soldiers, they can't be left to control them. Once the Duke's army arrives, it'll tip off the enemy. It might even force the Chen family to join forces with Huainan and start a rebellion. This is a real mess. Chapter 94 Zhuge Liang's Countermeasures. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yuan City, Xianxia Palace. Your Highness, a hyped voice echoed as Ning Fan opened the door to see Fatty Shun rushing in. Greetings, Your Highness, Xuanyuan beamed, bowing deeply. Judging by your face, did you sell every last drop in the wine cellar? Ning Fan asked. Xuanyuan chuckled sheepishly. Your Highness, today we moved almost 13,000 jars of fuguochen, and nearly 2,000 pots of Xianxia. That's one hell of a start. What's more, word got out just as we were closing. Tomorrow's sales are gonna be even bigger. Ning Fan nodded, unimpressed. Now that Huaxia liquor store is on the map, we're opening branches all over Yuan City within the week. And within a month, we'll have established sales channels in every county seat. Got it? Xuanyuan winced. Your Highness, isn't that pushing it a little too hard? Think you can't handle it? No, sir, Xuanyuan nodded firmly. It's just that the profit from 10,000 jars of fuguochen doesn't equal 200 jars of Xianxia. Shouldn't we focus on producing Xianxia? Nope, Ning Fan shook his head. Xianxia is popular because of the contrast with fuguochen. You need something basic to make the good stuff shine. Besides, Huaxia liquor store hasn't built a reputation with the average Joe yet. Fuguochen sales will probably explode in a few days. Tomorrow, we're dropping Xianxia. Each branch sells 100 pots. Yes, sir, Xuanyuan bowed respectfully and slipped out. It was late, but Ning Fan was waiting for word from Jiang Lin. My lord, Jiang Lin arrived quickly. After formalities, they sat down in the hall. Marquis Xuanwu has confessed, and we've arrested all his cronies. But some questions still linger. Oh, Ning Fan looked surprised as Jiang Lin continued darkly, we found secret letters in Marquis Xuanwu's mansion. He was in contact with the Chen family, but also had secret communications with Huainan. There are also individuals referred to by code names, identities unknown, that don't appear to be connected to either the Chen family or Huainan. Ning Fan frowned. What's Marquis Xuanwu's story? He denies everything, claims he knew nothing. Doesn't matter, Ning Fan chuckled. As long as we crush the Chen family, the court reclaims their private military workshop and horse farm, and clean up the government, I don't care how many monsters are hiding in Dayu. Jiang Lin, with the Chen mansion and Xuanwu Ho's property seized, Shuzhou is bound to catch wind of it. We've blocked the Chen family's intel, but with all the merchants and travelers, news of this magnitude is gonna leak. Jia Xu is prepped. I was about to let you. My lord, Lin Yong's voice interrupted from outside. A Jinui captain is here, requesting an audience. Let him in. Ning Fan looked puzzled as a burly man strode in, bowed to Ning Fan and Jiang Lin, and produced a sealed letter from his coat. Your Highness, a secret dispatch from Jiangnan. Let's see it. Jiang Li opened the letter and gave it to Ning Fan, then asked, seeing Ning Fan's face change, My lord, what's wrong? Go, fetch Kong Ming and Peng Ju for a meeting. Yes, sir. Lin Yong responded from outside. Ning Fan handed Jiang Li the letter. The Chen family has over 10,000 sets of high-quality armor. This. Jiang Li looked alarmed. My lord, shouldn't we have the three dukes send troops overnight? No. Ning Fan shook his head. The army has to cross the river to the south. They won't get here in a day. Right now, the Chen family isn't expecting us. We can't tip them off. The moment the army marches south, they'll know. They have over 10,000 sets of armor. If they get desperate, all hell will break loose. I underestimated the Chen family. Ning Fan frowned. If they didn't have over 10,000 soldiers and that armor, the Jinui and Shuzhou would be enough to keep them in line. But the Jinui and Jiangnan only have a little over 1,000, and they're stretched thin. Those 10,000 plus sets of armor represent the Chen family's finest equipment. The palace soldiers might not be able to stand up against them. My lord, as Ning Fan pondered, Zhuge Liang and Yu Fei arrived and bowed respectfully. Once everyone was seated, Ning Fan shared the intel, and Zhuge Liang looked grim. My lord, the three dukes can't march south as long as the Chen family is still standing. Unless we can wipe out those 10,000 elite soldiers lightning fast, Huainan will raise an army, backed by the Chen family's private forces, and the counties south of the Yangtze will be in danger. With the Chen family's 10,000 plus elite soldiers, the Jinui will have a tough time taking them out. Zhuge Liang explained the situation concisely, his eyes growing dark. What if I ask my father to mobilize the county soldiers to encircle and suppress them? My lord, there are only 10,000 or so county soldiers around Jiangnan. Mobilizing them will tip off the Chen family, guaranteed. The Chen mansion's 10,000 private soldiers are elite troops. Ordinary soldiers might not stand a chance. Before Ning Fan could speak, Zhuge Liang suggested, why not pull some elite troops from the eastern border army, disguise them as a grain transport team, and head straight for Shuzhou after crossing the Li River. Also, send a message to the southern border, have Qin Yunho watch for any mobilization toward Huainan. As long as we keep the Chen family in check, our eastern border army can cross the river and wipe out the rebels in one swift move. My lord, that's a solid plan. The Chen family has 10,000 elite soldiers, but they can't compare to battle-hardened border troops. Give me 3,000 elite soldiers, and we'll crush them, Yu Fei spoke up, eager to fight. Ning Fan nodded slowly, a cold, murderous look in his eyes. He said softly, send word to Jia Xu, tell him not to act rashly. I'm heading to the palace to ask my father for weapons and armor. My lord, Zhuge Liang hesitated. Don't make a scene. Better to ask for a secret decree. You're right. Chapter 95, Sensationalism. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It was late, the moonlight painting the snow with silver. Ning Fan, with Dian Wei, rode at full speed toward the palace. The wind bit sharply, and the few people still out hurried along. Reaching the gate, Ning Fan presented his pass and entered. Your Highness, His Majesty is still in the imperial study, working. Please wait, and I'll announce you. Understood. Ning Fan stood quietly, considering the situation. After Wei Ying returned, he strode into the study. Your son greets the Emperor. No need for formalities. Emperor Yu looked surprised by the late visit. He set down his brush, fatigue etched on his face. What is it? Father, a secret report from Xianxia. Ning Fan presented the report from Jia Xu. Emperor Yu's eyes narrowed. After reading it, his face darkened. He slammed a fist on the desk. Traitors! Damn them! Father, the Chen family has raised an army. We need reinforcements in the south, and quickly, or the Chen family might do something desperate. Agreed. Emperor Yu nodded. After a moment, he looked at Ning Fan. What do you suggest? Father, I want to lead 5,000 elite troops south, disguised as a grain convoy. Once in Jiangnan, we'll strike at Shuzhou. 5,000, Emperor Yu frowned, glancing at the report. The Chen family has over 10,000 soldiers. How can 5,000 stand a chance? Father, the Chen family's soldiers are private forces. Well equipped, yes, but little more than a mob compared to battle-hardened veterans. You only need issue a secret decree, then when our main force arrives, let the local counties in Jiangnan support us. The Chen family's 10,000 won't be a threat then. Emperor Yu nodded at Ning Fan's explanation. So, you're going to Jiangnan yourself? Correct. Ning Fan nodded firmly. This is crucial, and I must oversee it personally. Give me this task. You've never seen a battlefield. How can I entrust you with 5,000 troops? Father, I may not know troop formations, but I have skilled fighters under my command. Ning Fan's confident air surprised the emperor. He was used to his son's quiet ways, not this sharp intensity. Emperor Yu considered it, then nodded slowly. The next day the bells signaled the start of the morning court. Your Majesty, official documents have been piling up at the Ministry of Revenue for days. The minister's position needs to be filled. Indeed, Emperor Yu said calmly, I've already decided on the Minister of Revenue. Order Xianxia, governor of Nanhe County, to come to the capital today and take up the position. Xianxia. Many officials looked surprised that Emperor Yu had made the decision so directly. Hadn't this man been out of the spotlight for years? Now he's back. Emperor Yu surveyed the court. The position of right prime minister has been vacant for too long. I intend to appoint someone. Your thoughts? Your Majesty, Minister of Personnel Zheng has served for years, working tirelessly. I recommend Zheng. Your Majesty, I suggest Minister of Revenue Zhao Rui. Your Majesty, the Prime Minister's position is crucial to the nation. We must be cautious. Everyone spoke, eyes bright with ambition. Father, I recommend Shun Li. Who is this Shun Li? Ning Fan's interruption drew surprised glances. Xianxia, the Minister of Works, seemed to recognize the name, and stared at Ning Fan. Is your Highness referring to the former Grand Tutor, Shun Li? Yes. Your Highness, do you know Mr. Shun's location? Ning Fan smiled, looking at Emperor Yu. Father, Mr. Shen was once the Grand Tutor. He's highly respected among scholars and was a key minister during the previous emperor's reign. He is more than qualified for the position. I beg your permission, Father. Ning Fan bowed respectfully. Minister of Personnel Xianxia sneered, Your Highness, Mr. Shen left the court long ago, and is hard to find. Besides, he's old now. Why would he agree to be Prime Minister? Yes, Your Highness, are you just trying to get attention? Xianxia's cronies sneered, looking unkindly at Ning Fan. I ask you one thing. If Mr. Shen agrees, will you support him or not? Ha ha ha. Xianxia looked at Ning Fan with a confident smile. If Mr. Shen is willing to serve, it would be a blessing for us all. Yes, with his experience and ability, he's perfect for the job. Ha, if you can really invite him, I'll have no complaints. But I fear. Your Highness, you're boasting. Ning Fan ignored Xianxia and looked at Emperor Yu, who nodded slightly. King Xuanyuan, are you sure you can convince Mr. Shen to return? Reporting, I sent people to find Mr. Shen a few days ago. He's already been invited to the capital and is staying at my residence. If you issue an edict, he can take up the position. Good. Emperor Yu nodded, looking at Wei Ying. Draft an edict, appointing the former Grand Tutor Shenli as right Prime Minister. Understood. Seeing them working together so seamlessly, Xianxia's face turned ugly. The other courtiers realized something was up, and glanced at Ning Fan. Seeing the amusement on his face, they understood. Your Majesty, Mr. Shen left the capital in anger. Why would he agree to be Prime Minister? I suspect King Xuanyuan has ulterior motives and intends to control the government, Xianxia said, glaring at Ning Fan, and addressing Emperor Yu. Presumptuous. Emperor Yu's face darkened. Xianxia, how dare you speak nonsense in court? Ha, Mr. Zheng, I have no interest in controlling the government. Why don't you ask Mr. Shen to come to the palace and explain? Then it will be clear. Father, Mr. Shen is waiting outside. Please announce his audience. Hearing this, Xianxia looked disgusted, but Emperor Yu nodded. Summon him. Chapter 96, Right Prime Minister, System Wall. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xian, the former Grand Tutor Shenli, is here to see you. The shout echoed beyond the Meridian Gate, and an old man in simple robes walked slowly toward Jingde Hall. On those long steps, he seemed to be the only person left in the world. Outside the palace gate, this stooped figure came into view of the ministers. Lin Qiushi's face tightened, while Xianxia and the others were visibly thrilled, bowing deeply with hands clasped like students greeting their master. Emperor Yu, seated on the dragon throne, was equally stunned. He rose slowly, his gaze fixed on the approaching figure. Shenli, a humble commoner, greets your majesty. Mr. Shen, please, rise. Thank you, your majesty. Shenli bowed once more, straightened up, adjusted his robes, and stood tall in the center of the hall. He scanned the rows of civil and military officials, a hint of bewilderment in his eyes. Mr. Shen, I wish to appoint you as right minister. Would you accept the position? Your majesty, I made my decision even before leaving the mountain this time. Hearing Shenli's response, Xianxia's face brightened with hope, practically begging him to refuse. Father, Mr. Shen's willingness to leave his hermitage speaks volumes. As they say, a true leader worries about the world before themselves, and rejoices only when the world is happy. A man as noble and righteous as Mr. Shen is incomparable to those snakes in the grass lurking in the court. Old Shen has devoted his life to teaching, amassing countless disciples. His return to the heart of the court reflects his unwavering ambition, his sight set on a brighter future for all. Ning Fan's words sparked a light in Shenli's eyes. He murmured, worries about the world before themselves, and rejoices only when the world is happy. Your Highness, those are truly profound words. Well said. Emperor Yu was visibly impressed, looking at Ning Fan as if he'd just seen a chicken lay a golden egg. I'm just an old man with big dreams. That perfectly describes Mr. Shen. Thank you profoundly, Your Highness. I thank God for your grace. Shenli bowed to Emperor Yu. Ning Fan, who'd arrived early that morning, was now worry-free. The system beeped, instantly sending Ning Fan into the clouds. Congratulations. Task complete, secure the right Prime Minister. Reward, system upgrade plus system mall access. Task evaluation, S rank. Bonus, God tier lottery. Ning Fan's eyes widened at the mission details. It was the first time he'd ever received an S rank evaluation. A God tier lottery, what wonders awaited him. Congratulations. System upgraded. System mall unlocked. System mall. Ning Fan saw a subtle shift in the light panel in his mind, his excitement growing. He tapped on the System Mall tab, and a dazzling array of items materialized before him, magical weapons, miracle elixirs, even everyday necessities. System, does the System Mall use reputation points for purchases? Affirmative. With this system upgrade, the reputation system is officially launched. How do I earn reputation points? By building your reputation, Master. The greater your renown, the more reputation points you will accumulate. Got it. Ning Fan's eyes gleamed as he scanned the rare treasures, daily essentials. Toilet paper, 100 points, roll. Paper, 200 points, pack. Feminine hygiene products, 500 points, pack. Small umbrella, 1000 points, box. Skills. Piano, beginner, 1000 points, intermediate, 10,000 points, master, 50,000 points. Chess, basic, 1000 points, calligraphy, skill capped. Archery, beginner, 1000 points, competent, 5,000 points, expert, crops. Chili seeds, 50,000 points. Cucumber seeds, 50,000 points. Ning Fan browsed quickly, discovering nearly everything he could imagine, with prices ranging from 100 to 1,000,000 points. Of course, the System Mall primarily offered products from this era. He hadn't yet spotted anything like airplanes or cannons. I didn't realize troop summoning cards also required reputation points. Looks like I need to find a way to build my rep. Ning Fan was lost in thought when a loud announcement of dismissal snapped him back to reality. Your Majesty, please proceed to the Imperial Study. Understood. Ning Fan followed Weiing to the Imperial Study, where they were joined by the newly appointed Shenli, Lin Qiushi, and Jia Xu, the Minister of War. Your Majesty, the three princes have arrived. Send them in. Yes, Your Majesty. Chao Changjing and the others strode into the hall. After a brief greeting, they stood silently to the side. You are all aware of the situation. Lord Jingguo will immediately transfer 5,000 elite border troops to the command of King Xianyong. As you command. Jia Xu. Emperor Yu turned to the Minister of War, his voice hardening. Instruct Marquis Qingyun to closely monitor Huainan. Should he detect any troop movements, he is authorized to act. As you command. The atmosphere in the hall grew heavy. Lin Qiushi said gravely, Your Majesty, King Huainan commands an army of 300,000. Marquis Qingyun must also remain vigilant against the southern barbarians. Fear not, Lord Xuanyuan. Once the Chen family is crushed, the three dukes can march south. Your Highness, the Chen family controls a private weapons workshop and can raise an elite force of over 10,000. They won't go down easy. I'm confident in my strategy. Seeing Ning Fan's unwavering assurance, the ministers held their tongues. Emperor Yu said in a deep voice, the Chen family is in secret collaboration with Huainan. Let's discuss how to handle Huainan. Your Majesty, the Minister of Rights, Zhao Rui, is still in Huainan. Furthermore, Lu Can is notoriously cautious. He wouldn't risk action without being completely certain. Act. After all, Qin Yunho stands guard. We control the decision of war or peace. Shenli, who had remained silent until now, said softly, Your Majesty, conquering Huainan with Dayu's current national strength, I fear it would prove challenging. The borders are unstable, and the court is currently divided. I fear this matter must wait. Emperor Yu nodded slightly, his gaze shifting to Zhao Changjing and the other two. He said solemnly, Once Ning Fan's troops reach Shuzhou, your armies will deploy immediately to defend against Huainan. Yes, Your Majesty. The night stretched long, the full moon hung high, on an ancient road. Ning Fan, dressed in white robes, stood flanked by 2 armored guards. Behind him stretched a seemingly endless grain transport convoy. Ning Fan toyed with a bone flute, his eyes distant. Pengju, continue to lead the army forward. Eli and I will follow later. Understood. As he watched the army disappear into the night, Dian Wei looked at Ning Fan, puzzled. My lord, what are we waiting for? Someone. Ning Fan lifted the bone flute to his lips, and a haunting melody filled the still night, mingling with the faint rhythm of horses' hooves. At some point, a dark line emerged on the horizon, rushing toward them. It was only 18 figures, but they moved with the force of 1,000, crushing everything in their path. Chapter 97, Force Enhancement, Second Summoning of Arms. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Under a waterfall of moonlight, a man in white stood with effortless grace. Beside him stood a powerfully built man in armor, his long hair whipping in the wind, his gaze fixed on the sky. In the distance, 18 riders charged like a storm, closing in fast. The 2 of them felt the weight of the 18 riders' murderous intent, a suffocating pressure. My lord, what is this? Dian Wei looked like he was facing a major threat, his eyes more serious than ever, his hands gripping his double halberds tightly. Relax, they're with us. Ning Fan, with his hands behind his back, calmly watched the 18 riders approach. The Yanyan 18, my king's dark cavalry. Whoa! Dian Wei stared at Ning Fan in surprise. The riders didn't slow down until they were just a few feet away, then they reined in their horses in perfect unison. Clang! Clang! As they drew their scimitars, Dian Wei's face shifted instantly. My lord, have they turned on us? Shoot! Before Dian Wei could finish, all 18 riders knelt, the sound of their scimitars hitting their armor echoing in the air. They bowed their heads, silent. Everyone, your time in hiding is over. It's time to show yourselves. We're ready to die for your highness. System, activate the god-level lottery. Congratulations, master. You've received a soldier summoning card. Huh, a flicker of joy crossed Ning Fan's face. He hadn't expected to draw a soldier summoning card on his first try with the god-level lottery. A soldier summoning card costs 100,000 reputation points in the system store. System, what functions were unlocked in this system upgrade? Master, after the system upgrade, you now have the detection technique, which allows you to see a person's stats and basic information. Interesting. Ning Fan's eyes gleamed. The detection technique was perfect for a leader. Being able to instantly see someone's abilities, loyalty, and background meant anyone could tell who was trustworthy and who was a traitor, and know exactly how to use them. Detecting that the master has upgraded for the first time, here's an upgrade gift pack. Do you want to open it? Bring on the goodies. Ning Fan, anticipation on his face, opened the system. Congratulations, master. You've received 5 strength pills. Congratulations, master. You've received a set of the gluttonous beast armor. Congratulations, master. You've received the ancient Xuanyuan sword. Point 3 system notifications rang out, and Ning Fan looked surprised. The system was being generous this time, giving away armor and magical weapons. System, tell me about the strength pills. Strength pill, made by ancient wizards. Each pill increases strength by 220 pounds. Limit of 10 pills per person. No way. Ning Fan pulled out a small jade bottle containing the strength pills from the system space, his eyes shining. In the month since he traveled through time, his influence in the court had grown rapidly. He had the Jinyui, the underworld, and even the Yanyan 18. But his martial arts skills were a major weakness. His physical strength limited his spearmanship. And now he had 5 strength pills. Will 1,100 pounds of strength be enough to make me a first-rate fighter? Right now my strength is at 65 points, just a step away from being a third-rate general. I wonder how far 1,100 pounds of strength will take me. Ning Fan closed the system and looked at Dian Wei beside him, asking quietly, Eli, how strong are you? My lord, my left arm can lift about 1,500 pounds, and my right arm is around 2,000. Whoa, Ning Fan was stunned. So the ancient saying about strength of 1,000 pounds wasn't an exaggeration. Dian Wei's strength was probably the peak for a top general. So, a top general's strength generally didn't exceed 3,000 pounds. So, my 1,100 pounds of strength. After a moment's hesitation, Ning Fan dumped the 5 blue pills from the jade bottle into his mouth. They dissolved instantly, flooding his limbs with energy. Whoa! Yikes! Ning Fan squeezed his legs together involuntarily. The purple lightning dragon beneath him whinnied, and incredible power surged through his body. In an instant, Ning Fan's body seemed to transform. The marrow cleansing pill had boosted his flexibility and resilience, and now with the strength pills, Ning Fan's martial arts ability took a giant leap forward. System, show me my stats. Name, Ning Fan. Merit, 1000. Reputation, 0. Identity, the second most popular prince of the Dayu Dynasty, the pillar of Xianxia Palace, leader of the Jinyui, nemesis of corrupt officials, chief coach of the 100,000 new army, and loyal customer of Feng Xianglu, to be cancelled. Power, Jinyui, Hades, Yanyan 18, military power, 82. Intelligence, 83, command, 75, politics, 70, magical weapons, soul-piercing spear, Xuanyuan sword, mount, purple. Lightning flying dragon, skills, photographic memory, calligraphy, master level, throwing, grandmaster level, charm, cooking, master level. Items, 6 ingredient Rehmannia pills, Suoyang essence locking pills, golden cabinet kidney chi pills, 5 seed pills, ancient body strengthening recipe, refined salt purification method, ancient winemaking process, Sun Tzu's art of war, 36 stratagems. Potato seeds * 1000, sweet potato seeds * 1000, curved plow blueprints, unit summoning card. Unique skills, 13 deadly spears, first style, leaf throwing, beginner. Summon people, Dian Wei, Shenwan San, Qin Qiong, Xuanzhu, Jia Xu, Zhuge Liang, Yu Fei. Summoned units, Yanyan 18. Ning Fan looked surprised. His stats were completely different from last time. My strength is up 17 points, intelligence and command are up 2 points, and politics is up the most, 3 points. And the page has been updated, with reputation, merit, and power. The future's bright. His strength wasn't yet first class, 85 to 90 points, but it was enough for now. On the battlefield, Dian Wei would charge into battle, Yu Fei would strategize, and Zhuge Liang and Jia Xu would offer counsel. As long as he practiced, and mastered the 13 deadly spears, he would be invincible. System, use the unit summoning card. Congratulations, Master. You have successfully summoned 800 Han Dynasty elite infantrymen. Chapter 98 Taotie Treasure Armor, Xuanyuan Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shuzhou, Chen Mansion. The grand hall glittered with luminous pearls and hanging candles, bathing the space in a bright glow. So, it's come to this. Mr. Chen's face darkened as he read the information from the capital, a look of utter frustration washing over him. They've lost contact. Father, the merchant said that 3rd and 4th brothers are imprisoned in the Jinyui prison. Jinyui? What's that? Father, Emperor, you established the Jinyui as a new supervisory agency. It's incredibly powerful, holding the power of life and death over all officials. In just over 2 weeks, the Jinyui has raided the homes of dozens of high-ranking court officials. Mr. Chen, his expression grave and eyes flickering, paused for a long time, then asked quietly, has the Black Dragon army been moved into position? Xuanyuan, the eldest son, nodded solemnly. The Black Dragon Guard is hidden in a valley just outside the city. Keep a close eye on the court's movements and the surrounding counties. Report anything suspicious immediately. Move all the weapons from our private workshop to Huainan within 3 days. Make sure it's done discreetly. Inform the king of Huainan to step up his timeline. The attack must happen within 2 weeks. Yes, father. As the Chen family's sons left the hall, a figure in black robes materialized, his face etched with concern as he looked at Chen Jingshan. He said calmly, Master, our century-long plan is nearly complete. The Chen family will soar to new heights. It's just around the corner. My only fear is that a failed uprising will destroy everything the Chen family has built over centuries. This emperor is far more formidable than his predecessor, a master strategist who's impossible to read. For years, the court has been infiltrating our ranks. I have no idea how many agents are embedded within the Chen family. I even suspect the court was behind the theft of Japanese arms from our private workshops. Chen Jingshan spoke slowly, his eyes filled with a dark knowing. The man in black robes fell silent, replying softly after a pause, Master, we've survived this long. Surely, we can hold on for another couple of weeks. Even if the court is aware of our plans, they won't risk a direct attack, not yet. And if they mobilize troops, we'll see them coming. That's when we strike towards Huainan. Don't forget, we still have over 10,000 sets of superior armor. Chen Jingshan, calmed by the reminder, nodded slightly. Let's hope everything goes according to plan. On the banks of the Li River, a ferry. Your Highness, this is the only public ferry in the capital. The Shui family controls all the other major crossings. What's more, the landing on the opposite bank also belongs to the Shui family. Ning Fan, looking out at the dark river, said evenly, have the soldiers board and head straight for the nearest ferry. Yes, sir. 5,000 men boarded the boats, sails unfurling on the river, pushing them toward the south bank. The landing at the Xianxia ferry went smoothly. Ning Fan led his 5,000 men straight to Shuzhou, arriving at dawn. My lord, Shuzhou is just ahead. Mr. Wenhe has been waiting for us. Ning Fan nodded. Have Wenhe come see me. Greetings, my lord. Wenhe, no need for formalities. Jia Xu took a seat in the tent. Yu Fei unfurled a map of Shu County and said grimly, according to your information, the Chen family's private army is hidden in this valley. The valley opens into a flat area with a strategic pass at the entrance. It's easily defended. A direct assault would be difficult. Yu Fei's eyes gleamed. But if we can draw them out, our 5,000 elite troops can ambush both sides of the valley entrance and rain down hell with our bows and crossbows. A swift strike to crush their morale. Once we attack the Chen family, their private army will emerge from the valley. We retreat into the county and hold it until reinforcements arrive, encircling them. Jia Xu nodded. Lord, Pingju's plan is solid. Agreed. Ning Fan nodded, and Yu Fei continued, Lord, the Chen family will have patrols guarding the valley entrance. To set a silent ambush, we must eliminate their outposts and sentries first. And prepare to be discovered, blocking the entrance with boulders if necessary. Report. An urgent call came as they discussed. An armored scout rushed in. Your Highness, Commander-in-Chief, the Chen family rebels have left the valley. What? Ning Fan's eyes narrowed, and Yu Fei's head snapped up in disbelief. My lord, the Chen family must have gotten wind of something and are getting restless. Jia Xu's eyes flashed. In that case, there's no time to wait. Send word to the 3 dukes to cross the river. The Chen family doesn't know our 5,000 troops have already crossed the river. That's our advantage, Yu Fei pointed to the map. Lord, see here. This is the only route from the valley to the county seat. We ambush them here, retreat into the county after the attack, and wait for reinforcements. 5,000 troops are more than enough to hold the city. Once the reinforcements arrive, we can wipe out the rebels. Ning Fan nodded, turning to Jia Xu. Send word to the 3 dukes to march south immediately. Warn Qin Yunho to watch out for Huainan. Pengju, lead the army yourself, set up an ambush on the road, and hit the Chen family's private army hard before retreating. Yes. My lord, our troops have been moving all night and are probably tired. This battle might be tough. With Pengju leading, we will prevail. Ning Fan spoke confidently, his hand rubbing a token hidden in his sleeve. Wenhe, return to the county seat and prepare to close the net. Watch the governor's mansion. Jia Xu nodded gravely. Don't worry, my lord. Ning Fan retrieved armor from the system space. The dark armor pieces radiated a ferocious aura, with a Taotie head engraved on the chest plate, its face terrifying. Taotie treasure armor. This looks amazing. The material seems to be more than just ordinary iron. I wonder how it will fit. Ning Fan murmured, putting on the armor. He drew the Xuanyuan sword and wore it at his waist, radiating an undeniable heroic spirit. Chapter 99, The Trapped Camp, Going to Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A large army, stretching for miles, was headed toward the county seat. They carried no military flags, and their armor was unlike anything Dayu used. Dragon heads were even engraved on their breastplates. Here they come. Crossbowmen, archers, get ready. Yu Fei raised his hand slowly. As the Black Dragon army drew nearer, he gave the order, and thousands of arrows rained down from the jungle, striking the Black Dragon army from both sides of the road. Ambush. Retreat. Fall back. The Black Dragon army commander, a middle-aged man in a fancy robe, looked panicked. He watched his soldiers fall like wheat and screamed. Hold the line. Soldiers, don't panic. Prepare to engage. Seeing the Black Dragon army descend into chaos, Yu Fei looked surprised. My lord, looks like we overestimated them. A single volley of arrows and they're falling apart. A rabble. Pengju, perhaps we can seize this opportunity for a total victory. Yu Fei shook his head at Ning Fan's suggestion. My lord, the soldiers have been fighting all night. They're exhausted. Besides, we're short on manpower and only have infantry. We're at a disadvantage against their tens of thousands. It's best if we pull back for now. Seeing Yu Fei's caution, Ning Fan considered, I still have an ace in the hole. What if I add them to the mix? Yu Fei looked confused. Ning Fan whispered, the camp raiders. The camp raiders? Yu Fei was shocked. Your Highness, are you referring to the camp raiders under Gao Shun, Marquis Wen, from the late Han Dynasty? Exactly. How many are there? 800. And where are they now? They can come to our aid at any moment. Hearing Ning Fan's words, a spark ignited in Yu Fei's eyes. He muttered, my lord, if that's true, we'll have a 70% chance of wiping out their entire force right here. Good. Then let's do it. Soldiers, the Chen family maintains a private army, colludes with traitors, and plots rebellion. By His Majesty's secret order, we are authorized to crush the rebellion. Let's go, Yu Fei ordered. His longbow sang, and an arrow pierced the chest of the middle-aged man in the fine robes. Kill. Kill those beasts. We're out here risking our lives, protecting you all, and these backstabbers want to overthrow Dayu. They've got another thing coming. An old soldier cursed. He knew too many brothers who had died protecting the borders. All to protect the peace and prosperity of the realm. Now, someone wants to start a civil war, maybe even take over the country. That's a crime that deserves death. 5,000 veterans charged toward the 10,000 armored troops. Ning Fan took out a command talisman and whispered, "System, summon the camp raiders." "Congratulations, Master. The summoning is successful. The camp raiders will arrive on the battlefield in 10 seconds. As the system notification chimed, Ning Fan looked toward the rear. He saw a phalanx surging toward the Black Dragon army. Advance with unstoppable momentum. Enter the camp raiders, resolved to fight to the death. The roar echoed across the battlefield. Everyone turned to see the black wall advancing toward the Chen army. What is this, elite force? Damn! What terrifying aura! Where did this iron army come from? Do you even need to ask? An old soldier muttered, looking shocked. They must have clawed their way out of a mountain of corpses. Kill! Ning Fan's eyes were fixed on the leading black-armored general. The man held a broadsword and led the 800-man formation, like an unstoppable force, crashing into the rebels. The 800 camp raiders showed no fear against the 10,000. Every soldier's face was etched with a cold, murderous intent. Spears and broadswords at the ready, they charged relentlessly. Ning Fan's excitement soared. He turned to Dian Wei. "Let's go. My lord, you'd better watch from here." Before he left, Mr. Kong Ming strictly told me to never let you. "My lord, wait for me." Seeing Ning Fan raise his spear, Dian Wei looked helpless and followed closely, guarding his side. Ning Fan gripped the fierce dragon soul-severing spear and dashed forward, unleashing the Acacia strike. You killed one person with the 13 deadly spears, Acacia, and gained 54 proficiency points. You killed one person with the 13 deadly spears, Acacia, and gained 51 proficiency points. You killed one person with the 13 deadly spears, Acacia, and gained 50 proficiency points. You used the 13 deadly guns. The system notifications flooded his mind. Ning Fan relished the carnage. With 82 points of martial arts prowess, he could cut a swath through the enemy formation. The Chen family's private army was weak. Many had never seen battle before. Yu Fei was right to call them a mob. Why not try the second style of the 13 deadly spears? A light flashed in Ning Fan's eyes. He had memorized every move of the 13 deadly spears, but the first style wasn't fully mastered yet. Could he still use the second style? How many lonely nights of longing are there? The world is vast and the end is far. Second strike, heartbreak. Ning Fan followed the second strike in his memory, thrusting his spear and unleashing thousands of cold lights, killing the 4 soldiers around him. You killed 4 people with the 13 deadly spears, heartbreak, and gained 209 points of proficiency. Congratulations, Master. The second style of the 13 deadly spears has entered the realm of minor success. Do you want to check the martial arts auxiliary page? No. Ning Fan's Taotie armor was covered in blood, and his hair was falling out of its band. Seeing is false, hearing is true. Blind shot with 3 fingers. Third strike, blind dragon. Ning Fan tapped the spear, and a massive force surged through it, sending nearby enemies flying. My lord, you're amazing. Dian Wei was shocked. He didn't realize his lord was this strong. Had he been hiding his abilities? Could it be? That day in the West Camp, plucking the Yi Feihua, that wasn't something an ordinary person could do. Kill. Chapter 100 General Gao Shun, I Meet the Lord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn, at my current strength, those first 3 moves of the 13 deadly spears are a piece of cake. Cracking the second and third moves must have given my power another boost. Still, each move gets harder as we go, demanding more and more from my body and strength. Ning Fan gripped the fierce dragon soul-severing spear, cycling through the first 3 of the 13 deadly moves. He handled the dozen-plus rebels surrounding him like it was nothing, having Dian Wei around, covering his back for the past week, definitely took the pressure off and blocked a ton of stray arrows. Charge ahead, never retreat. Go into battle knowing you'll either win or die trying. That with that roar, the 800 formation ripped through the rebel ranks behind them like a sword from the sky, tearing a hole clean through. Spears up, a black-faced general, the leader, raised his broadsword. The 800-man formation shifted instantly. Frontline warriors raised their shields, spears jutting out from behind. The rebels had never seen anything like it and instinctively started backing away. Four-direction array, kill, the general yelled again, and the formation morphed into a phalanx. Deep inside the enemy lines, swords flashed in every direction. The rebels swarmed them, but they couldn't break the 800-man wall. Even Yu Fei looked impressed. That's the trapped camp formation, reorganized. In all of China, I bet only the Wei soldiers from before the Qin dynasty could match it. Ning Fan stared, amazed at how easily the phalanx cut through the enemy, maneuvering with ease. Only 800 strong, but they projected the presence of 1,000, unshakable as a rock. Thump. Thump, the sound of hooves thundered closer, kicking up dust that blotted out the sky, sweeping in like a storm. Kill. 18 figures burst from the dust cloud, grabbing everyone's attention. Yu Fei watched them, his expression hardening. He seemed to remember something. Ancient texts say King Luo Yi of Yen had a terrifying unit of only 18 men. They wore black, with curved blades at their sides, masked faces, and black scarves, showing only their eyes. They wore long black cloaks and barbarian riding boots, with hidden daggers. Each carried a large bow and 18 arrows, and a full moon scimitar. These 18 are dressed exactly as described. Could they be the legendary 18 riders of Xuanyuan? As everyone watched in shock, the 18 riders drew their scimitars, charging into the rebel formation. Blades flashed, and the rebels went down like wheat before a scythe. Hiss. Ghosts, are they men or demons? Damn it, where did these evil gods come from? There's only 18 of them, stop them. Before a general could finish, an arrow pierced his face, and he fell. Nearby, Ning Fan's Taotie treasure divine armor was soaked in blood and gore. An evil aura rolled off him. Surrender and live. Yu Fei leaped onto his saddle, planted his feet, raised his spear high, and roared. Surrender and live. Surrender and live. Thousands of soldiers echoed him. The Chen family rebels fell into chaos. In just half an hour, the tide of battle had completely turned. The Xuanyuan 18 formed a human wedge, slicing through the rebel lines. No one dared to approach them. Screw this. These guys are insane. I've killed a few men in my time, but the evil coming off these guys, you can't get that without killing hundreds. Brothers, we're helping the Chen family rebel. The Imperial Army is here, and 5,000 of them are kicking our butts. If the main force shows up, how can the Chen family stand a chance? Besides, the generals are dead. One by one, weapons clattered to the ground. The rebels' morale shattered. Ning Fan wiped sweat from his brow with his sleeve. The system chimed in his mind. Congratulations, Master. The second move of the 13 deadly spears, Heartbreak, has reached great success, and the third move of the 13 deadly spears, Blind Dragon, has reached great success. Open the martial arts page. Open it. The battle had left Ning Fan drained. Exhaustion washed over him. The cold wind hit his face, and dried blood cracked on his skin. 13 deadly guns, lovesickness, 1360/3000. 13 deadly guns, heartbreak, 780/1000. 13 deadly guns, blind dragon, 254/1000. Hidden weapon, grandmaster, 1002/3000. Picking leaves and flying flowers, getting started, 5/100. Ning Fan glanced at it, his eyes shining. Half a day of fighting was like a month of hard training. Battles are definitely the fastest way to level up martial arts. Ning Fan reigned in his excitement and checked his attributes. One battle had boosted his martial arts by 6 points, taking him from a second-rate to a top-tier general, just a hair's breadth from the best. 88 force, just 2 points from being top-ranked. At this rate, mastering the 13 deadly spears and becoming a peerless general is a sure thing. But the higher you go, the harder it gets. Reaching the top rank will probably take 3 to 5 years, Ning Fan grinned wryly, but he wasn't discouraged. A month ago, he was a nobody who couldn't beat anyone. Now, he was fighting in the army under Dian Wei's protection and taking down dozens of enemies. It might be a little shameless, but his martial arts had really improved. General Gao Shun reports to my lord, a broad-shouldered man with a square face strode up, kneeling respectfully on one knee. It was the armored general who had led the trapped camp, hacking through the enemy ranks, Gao Shun, the commander.